Good morning. So welcome to today's session. We'll be talking about AWS Certifications Unlocked, choosing the right path for you. As we all know, we have various AWS certifications, and people find it very frustrating or too much for them how to navigate across these certifications paths. So which one is actually meant for you? Which one do you need to do? Which one is meant for your work? Which one do you need for your credibility, your career growth, and all of that? So that will take us through this session. And at the end of the class, we're going to have a group discussion and a question and answer session. So let's start. So Sulaiman Olubi, as we all know, so I work majorly in the cloud networking, network automation, and operation space. So as of today, I have 4 AWS certifications: Practitioner, Architect, Associate, SysOps, and Advanced Networking. So what we'll be discussing today, the reasons why you need to get certified. That's the first thing. And the stage of AWS certifications, how do you know your paths, and the proven materials that have worked for people with one of the best resources outside there. Because when you go to the internet, you consume a lot of resources. So for you to be able to, okay, this is actually what I need to pass this exam or to add to my knowledge repository. So that's what we'll be talking about, proving materials. And the last section is going to be the question and answer session. Okay, why do you need to get certified? Number one, industry recognition. You need that credibility for yourself in the industry. You need people to know that, okay, you are certified. For example, now maybe a person can be a doctor, can be a nurse, can be any profession, but I think there's an exam you need to write to get them certified. So for example, if they are saying, okay, there's a position for a cloud engineer, one of the requirements is you must have at least AWS certification, at least one. You know, that's first of all like a credibility for you, because if you don't have it, the mere chance of them getting back to you, it's very minimal. But if you have that certification, at least you've been able to cross the first order, the first step. There might even be some people that will even have this certification. They might not be good as you. They might not be very proficient as you. But the first criteria there is that you must be certified. I get my point. So that's the first thing. So you need it for your credibility. You need it for industry recognition. You can see some people on LinkedIn, you see some people 12 times, 13 times, 7 times, 4 times, and all of that. It's not for anything, but for their credibility. So when they are talking, people see them as a subject matter expert. So that's the first reason. The second one is your career growth and opportunities. You need it to move on with your career. If you are looking, maybe you're looking for a promotion, or you want to enter a new space, you need that certification. It's not a waste of money. You need to invest in it, because doing that certification is going to expose you to opportunities. And from there, you take your step one after the other. So, and the last one is the hands-on knowledge. AWS exam is still one of the very critical exams. It's not as straightforward as you might think. I know some people here might have wrote 1 or 2, but we're talking about the AWS knowledge. You can't cram dumps and say you want to go and pass AWS exam. You need to have that hands-on knowledge. You need to understand. Okay, we are talking, for example, a question might be, okay, which of the following services is used for the most operational efficient, for the most cost optimized? I get me. So those particular phrases, those keywords are very, very important. You might have different type of database or different type of services and all of that, but the implementation, the hands-on practical of those services is going to give you that confidence to be able to tackle the exam and pass it. So it's not that you are writing or studying for the exam for passing sake. You are also increasing your own hands-on knowledge, because each of the exam has their own syllabus. It has the full entails documentation, the white papers, and all of that that you might need to go through to be able to pass the exam. So you need the hands-on knowledge. So in my own viewpoint, so these are the three reasons why I see that you need to get certified. So let's start. These are the steps of AWS certification exam. The first one is the practitioner. That's the foundational. So we have the cloud practitioner and we have the AI foundational. So cloud practitioner is just for you to have the basic understanding of the cloud concept. It doesn't have a very deep focus, just the foundation. So for example, someone coming from sales or an executive manager that wants to even know what the cloud means can take the cloud practitioner, or even you can take the cloud practitioner. It's just something just to ensure that you understand the fundamentals, just a low level understanding. So I think the AI practitioner was actually introduced, I think somehow last year, very, somehow last year there. So that's just about it. Cloud practitioner. So if you have the opportunity to write it, you can just write it and get your certification. But if you don't have the opportunity, it doesn't mean anything. But the focus of this guy is just for you to have the basic understanding. What is the storage service, the networking service, database service, the compute service, all those low levels understanding. That's what the cloud practitioner involved. So the next one, which is the associate. I know a lot of people start with this. Yeah, I know a lot of people start with this. And this is if you want to start any AWS certification part, I would strongly advise you to start with the associate part, because it's you can't miss it wrong. It's one of I would like call it, it's a role-based certifications that validates your expertise and boosts your credibility. So for you to take this, you must have a very correct, strong IT experience. You must understand those services. You must be able to architect cost optimized solutions, highly available solutions, operational efficient, security optimized. So you must just the associate takes you through a kind of more intrinsic evaluation than the foundational parts. So you need to read a lot. So for example, now the solutions architect, that's one of the most popular exam in AWS, because the solutions architect associate cut across all services: the computing, the networking, the database, the machine learning, the AI, and all of that. It's cut across because it's social architect associate. So I would really advise you, if you are coming from a networking background or a system admin background, I'm going to still show us the path that we need, but I'm just trying to take you through the associate level. So we have the social architects, that's architecting based on the 6 pillars principles of AWS. So we have the 6 pillars principles of security, cost, highly efficient, all of that. It's about 6. So those are the social architects. So we have the developer guide, software development guide. You have the system administrator, that's for system admin, management, automation, and all of that. You have the machine learning. The machine learning was just introduced last year, and the data engineer also was introduced somewhere around last year as well. Yeah, so we're now getting more ahead now. This is the professional part. So this is it's validating your advanced skills. It's more than the associate. So you take the associate, the next stage is the professional part. Well, we only have 2 professional parts as of today. We have the solutions architect professional, and we have the DevOps engineer professional. So if you are coming from a development background, maybe you're a developer or you're a DevOps engineer, the next thing you might need to go for is your DevOps engineer professional. So that takes you to more advanced topic on the development side and the operation side. But if you're coming from a solutions architect side and a solutions architect, enterprise architect, solutions engineer, so you would focus more on the solutions architect professional, because it's going to give you a kind of advanced skills in terms of designing a very highly scalable solutions for your customer workloads. This is where you are talking about cloud migration, lift and shift, rehosting, and all of that. So we have different types of migration projects or migration technology. So we have the lift and shift, we have the rehosting and all of that. So in the solutions architect professional, you'll be talking more about this because that's where you have the high senior solutions engineer. This is what you see a lot of different architecture diagram, how you can interpret them, and you can even build your own, how those services communicate with each other, maybe from your VPC endpoints, maybe to your simple notification service, to your Lambda, to your database, the whole interconnection, the whole design takes you through the solutions architect profession. But the DevOps engineer will take you through about, we were talking about your development, your CI/CD pipeline, the DevOps principle, your continuous integration, continuous deployment, and all of that, automated image building, how to build your image, and all of that. So the DevOps engineer position, I will take you through that. So I've not even talked about the cost. The foundational is about, I think it is $100. Yeah. And why the associate is about $150. The professional is about $300. So the last part, if you have this last part, it shows that you are an SME. You are a subject matter expert. You have positioned yourself as an advisor in that area. You are more like a specialist. So we have the advanced networking. So you are coming from a networking side. This is what you will be aiming at. Okay, let me have my advanced network specialty. And I think during last week, I came across some various positions for a cloud network engineer. And one of the required certification is that you must have an advanced network specialty certification. I think I posted it to the group as well. So you can see that it's part of the thing. Maybe you are coming from a networking side. It's something you should be looking at because that shows you the peak when you're talking about the AWS networking side. So that's when you'll be talking about the hybrid connectivity, the DNS resolution, inbound resolver, outbound resolver, getting load balancing, cloud front, different types of manipulation you can do with Route 53. That's your DNS. Different types of configuration you can do with your transit gateway, your direct connect, your CloudWatch monitor, the network monitor, because your network reachability analyzer, your AWS config, your AWS trail, how you can monitor your network from end to end, how you can integrate your on-prem. Maybe you have a kind of a multiple branches. So the SD-WAN, WAN networking, is also on AWS as well. So that's the things you'll be discussing in the advanced networking side. It's very, very detailed. It's very detailed, and it's even one of the most. The advanced networking is one of the most difficult AWS exam. Actually, I wrote it twice. I failed the first time. So it's a very difficult exam. So you must own your skills before you said you can just enroll to it, because it's very detailed. If you have passed CCIE, doesn't mean that you pass the advanced networking, because it's very, very detailed. Now let's go to the security specialty. So when you're talking about how to secure your AWS system, your services, talking about AWS config, AWS trail, AWS WAF, and the AWS Massier, a lot of all those security services, the VPC, security groups, network ACL, is part of security. So that's why networking and security are just like brothers and sisters. So there is a way it's going to intertwine at a particular point. So security also is a very important part of your AWS journey, because there are two things in AWS. They call it shared responsibility model. We have the security in the cloud, and we have the security of the cloud. So the security in the cloud is the responsibility of the customer, while the security of the cloud is the responsibility of AWS. Now, let me give you an example. You don't know where your server is. You just choose your region. You choose EU West 1A. You don't know physically where that server is. You don't know, maybe the server is being cooled, or what's the cooling principle for that server? Where is the what is the virtualization host that is running on that server? What is it, a bare metal? Is it an HP or a Dell? You don't know all those stuff. Your storage, you don't know if it is NetApp or if it is Huawei storage. You don't know any of those guys. How your physical data center is being sorted out is not the responsibility. That's what they call the responsibility of the cloud. That's AWS. But the responsibility inside the cloud is you, the customer, you, the owner. The responsibility of your data. That's why we have the encryption of data in transit and the encryption of data at rest. So how you encrypt your data, how you ensure your network is being secured using the right security group, the right network ACL, exposing your services correctly is your own responsibility. AWS cannot do that for you. It's just a matter of, okay, maybe you rent an apartment. Maybe you have a block of flats and you have from flat 1 to flat 2. So each tenant should be responsible for his own key. Maybe for your window, you might not leave your window open, you might close it, and all of that. That's the responsibility of you, the tenant. But the responsibility of the landlord or the owner of the block of flats is to ensure that, okay, your service fee is being done, you have lights, you have meter for yourself, and all of that. So just the security of the house. So same thing goes to the cloud. The responsibility of the cloud is AWS. While the responsibility inside the cloud is for you, the owner. So this, what I'm explaining, is it's part of the AWS foundational topics. So if you are preparing for the foundational topic, it's a very question. It's a common question that comes up very time. So these are the three. So the machine learning is for the machine learning engineers. We're talking about how you can use Amazon Bedrock to run your model as of today. So you have different type of models, the AI models and all of that. So it's something you can just test. You can go check Bedrock, how to use models and all of that. So if you are into machine learning and you see that, okay, this is where my path is taking me to, is I think the specialty part is I've not seen any stage after specialty. So specialty is the last stage. So it takes the same cost as this as a professional. I think it's about $300 as well. Okay, so now let's come to what really it's closely relevant to me and you, something relative to us. Let's discuss. So you are a cloud engineer. You just started. Okay, you've projected that maybe in the next 2 years, this is where I want to belong in AWS. This is what I want to achieve. And you are working towards it. You are having projects, you are doing hands-on. So these are the required certification you might need to take. So there is an intertwine between the cloud engineer and the cloud administrator or the system administrator. So the cloud practitioner foundational, you might need to take it. You might need to take the SysOps administrator. This SysOps administrator, when I did the exam, I think the exam has a lab. It has a lab. Yeah, you're going to do 3 labs. I think you must pass 2 before you can pass. So I think they've removed it now. I'm not really sure, but that time when I did mine, I think you need to do a lab there. So SysOps administrator, and some people, you think you are a cloud engineer. So this part is directly from AWS. So after getting your SysOps administrator, you continue to your security because you are a cloud engineer. You need to be able to have the required skills to secure, monitor, bring up servers, secure your database, secure your infrastructure as a whole in AWS. So you go further ahead, you do the DevOps engineer as well and the advanced networking. So that's for a cloud engineer. So for a network engineer, this is one of the I feel like this is just for you not to go around anyhow, just to have like a straight path. So you have the cloud practitioner foundational, which is the basics. The next one is solutions architect. I always advise guys to do this exam. This exam is very, very important. Solutions architect, but it's going to give you an overview of all the services, how it's being integrated together, and once you pass this exam, you will have the confidence to say, okay, I can do more. Let me go for the next, and all of that. So the solutions architect associate is very, very important. So we have the advanced networking. If you are coming from a networking side, this at this stage you'll be doing BGP, you'll be doing routing and all of that. So if you are coming from a networking side, you will really have good interest in this. And after then, you can now go for security specialty, and that makes it all for the network engineering part. So for the security engineering part, you start with cloud practitioner, the AI practitioner, the solutions architect associate, the security associate, and the solutions architect professional. So if you are coming from a security standpoint, you need to do the solutions architect professional also at the professional stage, because you need it. You need to be able to architect a good security posture for your infrastructure services on AWS. So this is what AWS recommended, and I feel like not to really give you much more, like not to bore you down with a lot of certifications. You just need to do the one that is right for you. You just need to do the one that you feel like, okay, these are what I need to progress my career. These are what I need to have the instant credibility in my career. So I'm going to add my own to it, is that you must have a documentation. It's either you have a GitHub documentation where you document your project, or you have maybe like a Medium blog article that you are writing to showcase what you've been doing, or you have a Dev2 account, or you have any one of those blogging articles. You must at least have one where you document your project, your skills, your blockers, your encounters. So that's going to give you perspective that you're not just reading for the exam. You also have the practical exposure and the practical standpoints to showcase that, okay, I have this and I can verify that I have this. So for solutions, so these are just the basics. So if you want to get more of it, this is the reference URL. I'm going to share this slide after this class, so we can all have access to it and see those there. But I think the most important part is what you actually need. So any standpoint you are coming from is either you are looking like, okay, at the end of the day, I see myself as a solutions architect professional. I see myself as a DevOps engineer. If you are a DevOps engineer, you know that, okay, I'm going to do the solutions architect, the system administrator. I'm going to do the DevOps professional. So those are the things you'll be looking into in your career path, so that you will have, okay, this is what I'm going to target. Maybe in the next 2 years, I should be able to get to this stage. I get my point. And this thing is you can't just wake up in the morning and say, I want to do it. You need to put the effort. You need to put the plan. So you can do it maybe in terms of maybe 6 months of writing each exam. I'm going to tailor it towards my career path. So, and this is just for AWS only. So this is for network engineer, and this is for cloud engineer as well. This SysOps, I believe this SysOps is even one of the most hard, one of the most difficult exam in the associate part, because you need to understand a lot of services in terms of maybe automation. That's where the SSM comes in place, the system manager. You need to know much about CloudWatch, how to understand CloudWatch a lot, CloudTrail, cloud config, a lot of services. System operations is I think it's one of the most difficult tasks or role in an organization. So it shows you that this guy is very, very detailed. Most people run away from this systems administrator. Now all of them goes to this guy. All of them goes to this guy. So now so what are the materials I've used? I invest in materials a lot. I buy courses. I don't joke with materials. Some people that knows me in this call knows that I really invest in materials a lot, because I believe that those are my password. So I don't just give it a chance or no. I think I have access to most of these guys here. I used Q Builder when I was practicing. I remember a time when I failed my advanced networking. So the pass score was 750, and I had about 720 or something. That's what I had. So I was like 20 or 30 marks short. So I had to strategize all over again and tried I had to re-strategize again and start. So one of the things I did is that I went to the skill builder and get the old syllabus. I tried to get the syllabus again, and there's a course in the skill builder for each certification part. So I just checked through the video what is needed for me to pass. Everything is there. Yeah, this skill builder is owned by AWS. So you see some digital training there. And once you click on this link, it's going to take you through the web page so that you see for each certification part, the syllabus, the exam guide, and all of that that you will need. So I think it's very important for you to be able to know what is AWS even measuring you against, what are the metrics, what are the things they're expecting you to understand in this certification. So that's why this skill builder is very, very important. We have the AWS Power Hour. Power Hour is like a 3 hour session AWS does on each certification part. Around last year, they did for solutions architect and security and all of that. So maybe with time, if they started another one, I'll be posting it on the group as well. So that's why you need to be on the WhatsApp group. So the Stefan Marek course, in this course is, I think I started with this course. So I have cloud practitioner, solutions architect. I think I have most for the most courses. So it's on Udemy. So you will need it. You will need it. This Stefan Marek. So once you click on the link, it takes you through his web page. I'm not advertising for any any courses now, but I'm just showing now what has worked for me and what I think from majority of the people what they said about this material. So we have Andren. Andren Cantrell is also, his courses are very, very good. They are hands-on intensive. So you have to be working along with Andren because it's going to take you through each of those courses, the steps, how to configure it. It don't take you to the steps. So, and it is intensive hands-on. I think I have this course for my solutions system administrator, yes, and my advanced networking specialty. And you can check the review online, what people are saying about these courses. So because I have to take different reviews to come up with this guy. So another one is the tutorial dojo. That's the practice. It's nice. I think there's WizLab. Yeah, I forgot to put WizLab here. So WizLab and tutorial dojo is for your practice. So how the typical questions that comes out and how to answer them and what are they expecting. You know, the way AWS sets the exam is quite different. So you need to understand what is the main phrase they are looking to inside this exam. Is there, like, at the end of the day, you will be boiled down to take two correct answers. Like, you have two similar answers. You would now be thinking, okay, which one should I pick? What? So what you give you the leverage is now, okay, the phrase inside the question, which of this is the most security service that you can use for that kind of scenario. So that's what will be the solution, because you will only have, I think there was a session, I think one of their SME that gathers their exams was saying that the way the base exam is structured is that you have two similar questions, two similar answers, and you have two unsimilar answers. So if you said you are good, you just read through, you'll be able to get the two similar answers, but you need to be able to understand the service to get the right answer to that two similar answers. So, and the last one is digital cloud. Digital cloud also, the guy is doing very, very awesome. Like, his explanation is clear, his video is clear, and it's so practical. So out of this, you can check it at your time. The one you feel like, okay, let me just check it through, and I can go through it. And I think it's a very good investment, because if opportunity comes and you're not prepared, there is nothing you can show for it. So some people have started it maybe like 5 years ago. What we are seeing themselves and all of that. You need to have a plan, and in your plan, your learning plan, you need to put certifications there as well. So while you are studying for all these, when you're using all these courses, all the projects that is being done in these courses, you can document them. You have your own AWS account. I think I shared it to the group as well, how you can get the $300 free credits. So you can get your credit. So as you are working, as you are checking through those videos, you're also doing your own practice along with them. And with time, maybe an hour in a day, or 3 hours in a week or something. Just get a physical plan, a plan that works for you. Since you know the path and where you are working towards, it's going to be, I think it's going to be very easy as well. And we have the group, the community is there to cheer you on, and to we are in this together actually. So these are the proven materials, and I think that's all so for this session. So I think I'm going to take questions at this point. So if you have questions that I can signify, so